middle point M xy of the line segment from P1 equals x1, y1 to P2, x2, y2. Okay, and how to find the middle point between these 2 points? Okay, between these 2 points, the formula is here. M xy equals x1 plus x2 divided by 2, y1 plus y2 divided by 2. Okay, divided by 2. So, what's the meaning of the middle point? If I give you 2 points, that is P1 x1 y1 and P2 is x2 y2. Okay, then the middle point M can be written down as x1 plus x2 divided by 2, y1 plus y2 divided by 2. Okay, so that's the definition of the middle point from these 2 points. Now let's take a look at this formula. And we can say for the x-coordinate of the middle point, that is what? That is the average of the x-coordinates. Okay, and the y-coordinate is going to be the average of the y-coordinate. Okay, so that's the property. We do the average for the x-coordinate and y-coordinate, and then we can get the coordinates for the m. That's it. That's it. Now let's take a look on one example. Find the middle point xy of line segment from P1 on to okay. So basically follow the steps. Okay. So we need write down x1, y1, x2, y2. So for the first one, x1 equals 5, y1 equals 5, x2 equals 3, y2 equals 1. Okay. Why is it so dark? Okay. Let's see. So we can write down the x1, y1, x2, y2, right? 2 points. Now, follow the formula. The x-coordinate is going to be the average of the x-coordinates, x1 plus x2 divided by 2. And this guy boils down to the -1. And the y-coordinate is going to be y1 plus y2. 5 plus 1 divided by 2, 6. Okay, so the average of the y-coordinate, 5 plus 1 divided by 2 equals 3. Okay, that's it. That's it. And how about the distance between these 2 points? Okay, distance. How to calculate the distance Of course, you're gonna use the distance formula that we learned from last class, right? The distance. If you wanted to calculate the distance, of course, you can calculate it. Just use the formula of distance. So x2 is 3. X1 is what? X1 is -5. And the y2 is 1 minus y1 is 5. Right? So just plug in the distance formula and then you're gonna get the results. Okay. And this guy gonna give you 3 plus 5 plus -4 squared, and this guy gonna be 8 squared plus -4 squared. Of course, you can calculate the square 64, 16, and then we can get 80. 80 can be write down as 16 times 5. So we're gonna get 4 square root of 5. Okay, 4 square root of 5. That's the distance. Okay. Now I want to give you guys an example. Let you guys try it. Okay. Find the midpoint and distance from P1 to P2.
Is that -3 and 1?
-3 to -3 to 60. Try it by yourself. Middle point, right? Middle point, the average of the x coordinates and the y coordinates. And distance, you learned from last class, right? It's a good chance for you guys to do some practice of the distance formula. Okay, let's try it.
Still section 2-1.
Yeah,
Reviewing 2-1.
section 2-1, yes.
Can I ask you a question about this? Okay. Can I ask you a question about this? Is it always going to be a plus minus situation when you go to these equations? Or will it ever change? Like say both sets like H2, Y1, will they all both, will there ever be an instance where they're both negative? Or will it always look like this?
It will always be subtraction. It will always be subtraction. The value of x or x1 or y1 can be a negative, but the relationship between these two always subtraction. I mean, the x value can be a negative. When you plug in negative, you need to use the brackets. And I can show you the example on the board. Now let me write down the answer on board. Follow the steps, okay? Let's follow the steps. So we have 2 points, right? So first point is x1 equals -3, y1 equals 2. And the second point is x2 equals 6, y2 equals 0. Right? And then middle point gonna be the average, right? Average. So x1 should be a -3 divided by 2. x2 is 6, right? Divided by 2. 3/2. And the y1 plus y2 divided by 2. Average of the y coordinates. So 2 plus 0 divided by 2 equals 1, right? Equals 1. Very simple. So the middle point gonna be this guy, right? 3/2 and a 1. It may. For me, it's both are okay, but sometimes the my MATLAB gonna requires 1 decimal or something like that. You'd better use a decimal. Okay.
Is this the second set of equations that you want us to do? It's not like the first set where everything was minus under the square root or.
Well, this is middle point formula.
So it's something different from the beginning. This is a new equation.
I think you probably miss this part. When you come to this classroom, you miss this formula. I just taught you guys the new formula. Okay.
Okay.
Middle point. Okay. So now we need to calculate the distance. Calculate the distance. Distance we have what? x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Okay, that's what we learned from last class, right? So we have what? We have plug in the values. So x2 is 6. Subtract x1. x1 is -3, right? -3. That's your question. -3 should plug in the parentheses, right? You plug in the -3, right? 1, 2 is 0 minus 2 squared. Okay, just plug in all the values. That's your step, right? That's your step. And then you're gonna get what? 6 plus 3 square, -2 square, and this guy square 81 plus 4 square root of 85. Okay, because square root of 85 is going to be 13 times 5. We couldn't simplify it. Okay, now that's the second example. Now I'm gonna give you guys the last example. Okay, now I want everybody make it. Okay, everybody make it. So this time I give you guys the okay, now find the midpoint and distance. So you want to see the midpoint formula, right? Formula just the average of these two. Yeah. So you have 2 points, and you calculate the average of these two. Okay. It's not too hard. The idea is you guys need to memorize the formula. As long as you understand the formula, just plug in and check. Plug in and check. That's it. Not too hard.
Should there be anything in between the midpoint formula where it's x1 plus x2 over 2?
Yeah, the average of the x coordinate, the
No, I
average
mean,
of,
it shouldn't be like a plus or minus sign right up under the point line. We have the midpoint and the formula for right beside it. Should there be a plus in there or anything? Yes, sir.
that's a point. There's a point, that's an x coordinate. This is a y coordinate. There's,
No, I mean in between both of those points. Should it be a plus sign or minus sign?
you mean between these two, right?
To figure those two out once you've gotten to the square root of it. Should there be a plus or a minus sign in between those two?
Yeah, show me. I feel a little bit confused. So you have
Like right here, should there be like a plus or a minus sign right here to actually figure those two out?
no, this is a point. The point has the x coordinate and the y coordinate.
So there's just the parentheses dividing those two.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right, that's what I'm looking at.
You guys know a point is what? We have x coordinate, y coordinate, right? So how to differentiate with the comma? You got it? Oh, very good. The idea is you guys need to memorize the formula. That's it, not too hard. Okay. You got it or not? What's the answer for the middle point? Yeah.
For distance, I got square root over 17. For x, y, -5.
Good job. Good job. Fantastic. Fantastic. And I want to make sure everybody can make it. Okay. That's easy stuff. Easy stuff. Later we're gonna learn very tough one. So I want to make sure everybody can understand the easy one. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna write down the answer on board. So we have 2 points. All right. So the first step, write down the x1, y1, x2, y2, right? And then follow the middle point formula, x1 plus x2, the average of the x value or x coordinates. Right? Plug in 2 over 2, 1. And the y coordinate gonna be the average of the y coordinate. Right? So it should be y1 plus y2 divided by 2, -2, -3 divided by 2. Because here is a positive, right? Positive. So you don't need to change the sign, right? Or you can write down it this way for be better to understand. You can write down like that, right? That is y1 is -2 and y2 is -3, right? Plug in. I will use a parenthesis because that's a negative value, right? So -2, -3 divided by 2, -5 over 2. Or you can write that as -2.5 if you want, okay? Now we're gonna calculate the distance. x2 minus x1 square, y2 minus y1 square, right? And x2 is what? Is 3 minus x1. Be careful you use parentheses because it's subtraction, right? So you'd better use the parentheses. y2 is what? It's -3. Subtract what? y1, -2. Right. Now you're gonna have what? 3 plus 1 square, -3 plus 2 square. And again, this guy will boil down to the 4 square plus -1 square. 16 plus 1 equals square root of 17. Okay, that's it.
Can I ask you a question? at the end of this equation, we have negative 5 over 2. How did it become negative 2, negative 5?
Or negative 2.5. That's a point. And the 5 is the decimal. Or you can use your calculator to calculate. Negative 5 divided by.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Use
So
your
we have to
calculator.
completely divide it out, and we can't have points.
You can keep the format is negative 5 over 2. There.
So we
You
can't
can
have
keep the
decimal.
fraction. I think for the my math lab should allow you to keep the fraction negative 5 over 2. But sometimes there exist specific requirements. Once you be decimal, then you need to write down is negative 2.5. Okay. Question. Yeah. So if you can further simplify, you'd better use the simplify the radical. You know, last time I think I gave you guys a video. Showed the what I can say. For example, I'm going to show the increment. Let me open the internet. YouTube. Simplify the radical. Yeah. So for example, this guy. Remove the picture. I can show this screen. For example, you've got a square root of 80 or something. Then you need further to simplify the radicals. Okay, you need to be able to simplify the radicals. If you don't know, just watch the video online. I think she did a pretty good job help you guys to simplify the radicals. This kind of thing should be learned from at least high school, right? So that's the older stuff. This is a college algebra, so we don't address such things in the class. Okay, I assume everybody already learned it. Then you don't need to learn again. My point is, if you don't know, if you forget it, you just go to the YouTube or search how to simplify the radicals, and you can find a bunch of the videos. Okay, just follow the videos. Keep some recap on all the stuff that you learned. Okay. Okay, so I just stop the sharing and close the video. That's it. Do you guys need more examples? I'll just move on. More example? No. Okay, move on. Well, I think it's easy. No such very challenging stuff. If I think it's very difficult, I will give you guys more examples usually. Okay. So, but if you require more examples, just let me know. Okay. I want to make sure everybody understood the things that you learned in the classroom. Okay. Now let's move on. We're gonna go to section 2.2. Graph the equations. Example 1. Graph the equation y equals 2x plus 5. How to graph this equation? It's very clear that we know that's a line equation, right? So how many points are needed to determine a line equation? How many points? 10? 2. Okay, all right. 2 points determine a line. Okay, 2 points. Now let's take a look for this guy. How to draw this line equation? We just need 2 points, right? So we just need to randomly pick 2 points. How to pick? Just pick a value for the x, then calculate the y value. For example, I randomly pick the easiest one, x equals 0. Okay, x equals 0. We plug in 2 times 0. Okay, that equals 5. Right? And then we can say, hey, we already get 1 point. That is 0, 5. Now we need another point. We can randomly pick x equals 1. Okay. Of course, you can pick x equals 2, x equals -1, whatever you want. Just pick another value for the x. So we plug in. We're gonna get 7. And we have 1, 7. Okay. Now you got 2 points. Now you can draw a line. Okay. So we have what? We have 2, 4, 6, 8. 1, 1. That is 0, 5 is here. 1, 7 is here, right? And we connect these 2 points. And that guy is y equals 2x plus 5. Okay, so 2 points determine line equation. Now I want you guys to try it. Graph the equation y equals -x plus 3. Try it by yourself, okay?
No, that was Tuesday before last. I emailed and he told me that it was okay for Zoom.
Oh, yeah.
At a family emergency.
I just want to check because I don't think you in person.
The Tuesday before last Tuesday, I think I did Zoom that Tuesday too. I attended class, but it was at home because I think I had woke up like 7:30. I was late, so it wasn't really where I could make it here at 8 o'clock. So I said, you know, ready, make copy. But at least I'll attend class. I was on Zoom.
Okay, I see. I understand. Okay, now it's time for me write down the answer on board. Let's take a look. So for this guy, the same things. It's a line equation. We just need to pick 2 points. For example, I pick x equals 0. X equals 0, always the easiest one, right? So I just pick the easiest one. Of course, you can pick x equals -1, -2, whatever value you want, or even decimal you want. If you want to pick, you can pick 0.5, 1.1, whatever you want. Just pick a value and calculate the y value, plug in the first point, right? And pick another value, and you got another value. So will be a 1, 2, right? You got 2 points, then you can connect these 2 points. 1, 2, 3. So 0, 3, 1, 2. Right? And then you're gonna get this line. And that is the line equation. Very straightforward. Right? Take 2 points and draw the dots on the coordinates and connect these 2 points. Gonna be the line equation, right? Line equation. Now we're gonna draw the more complicated graph. Okay. For example, I want you guys to draw the graph like that. Graph y equals x squared. How to draw this graph is very clearly here is x squared. That's a quadratic function. Later you're gonna learn the properties of the quadratic functions. Okay, so the idea is gonna be very straightforward. Pick as many points as you can. Pick as many points as you can, and then connect all the points. Then you can go to the curve. However, for this type of function, we usually pick 5 points. And this 5 points can be randomly picked. Should include negative value for the x and the positive value for the x equals 0. Okay. So the best way to draw the picture, we need to use a table. Okay, use a table to simplify the steps, and will be much clearer to you guys. So let's take a look. We draw a table. X, y equals x squared, and xy. Okay, so let's pick x value. We start with the negative value because we want to be more general. Okay, not more general. So if I pick x equals -2, okay, and then we can calculate the y value. So y value gonna be a -2 squared, right? Plug in the -2, we're gonna be 4, right? 4, right? And then we know the first point is negative 2, 4. Then we pick the negative 1. We plug in the negative 1, right? Equals 1. And we can see the point is negative 1, 1. And then we pick 0. We plug in 0, that is 0. And 0, 0, right? And of course, you continue to pick, if you pick 1, right? Pick 1. So plug in 1 square, 1 should be a 1, 1, right? If you pick x equals 2, plug in 2 square equals 4, 2, 4, right? So we got the this table, right? This table, we have 5 points. Now you can draw a picture. Let's take a look. So the first point is negative 2, 4. Is here. The second point is negative 1, 1. Is here. The third point is 0, 0. Right? The fourth one is 1, 1. Third point is 2, 4. Okay. And then you can connect these 5 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? 5 points. So we have it's a curve. Okay, it's a curve. So that is y equals x squared. That's it. Okay, you randomly pick 5 points. And be careful, you need to pick a negative value. That means you represent generosity of the picking. Okay, so you need to pick a negative value, and also you need to pick a positive values, right? So then you can draw the whole picture. Otherwise, if you pick all the positive value, you can probably just draw the one side of the curve, right? If you pick all the positive value, you're gonna draw this curve like that. You couldn't draw the negative side, okay? Negative side. Do you understand why we need to pick negative values? Right? Because if you just pick the positive value, you can only draw this curve, this side of the curve. If you only pick the negative value, you can only draw this curve.
So we need at least 5.
At least 5 for this one. But later, if you learn the property of the quadratic function, you just need 3 points, okay? Later, if you learn the properties of the quadratic function, because the quadratic property gonna give you the vertex, and also the intercepts. Okay, just 3 points. Now you just need 5 points. Okay, 5 points help you guys to draw the pictures. Now I'm gonna give you guys an example. Let you guys try it. Okay, draw this picture for me. Okay, now I'm gonna draw the picture on board. So basically, you're gonna pick 5 points, right? 5 points. So let's take a look. We can draw a table, and the table gonna simplify the process. Okay. So if I pick -2, for example, here is -2 squared plus 1. -2 plug in here is -2 squared going to be 4. -4 plus 1, -3. So -2, -3. If you pick -1, then you plug in, you're going to get -1 squared plus 1. Here's a -1 squared will be a +1. +1, -1 plus 1, 0. And another one. We pick a 0. Okay, -0 squared plus 1 equals 1. Oh, here is -1, 0. So it should be a 0, 1. Now we want to pick x equals 1, for example. That is 0. 1, 0. Oh, sorry. -1, yeah, it's 0. 1, 0, right? And if I pick a 2, -2 squared plus 1. Here, just 2 squared, right? 2 squared, nothing to do with the negative side. You plug in the 2 here, okay? So 2 squared, -2 squared. So 2 squared should be a 4, -4 plus 1, -3. Okay, we finish this 5 points, and we're gonna draw the picture, right? So the first point is -2, 3. Second point is -1, 0. Third point is 0, 1, 1, 0, 2, -3. Okay, then we connect all the 5 points. That's it. That's the curve for the y equals -x² plus 1. Okay, that's the strategy. That's the strategy. So next time, if I give you y equals 1 over x plus 1, how to draw this picture? The same thing, pick 5 points. Okay, pick 5 points and then try to draw this picture by, try it by yourself. Okay, next, you can do it after class. I will not address this type of problems in the class. But now you should be able to know if I give you a random function, how you draw the curve. Collect the points, right? Collect the points. And then after you collect the point, then just connect the point, you're gonna get the curve. That's it. That's it. Okay. Now I'm gonna move on. Do you guys understand? Understand? Great. So let's move forward. Find the intercepts of a graph from a graph. So points at which a graph crosses or touches the coordinates axes are called the intercepts. And now, of course, we have x coordinate of a point at which the graph crosses or touches the x-axis. Sorry, x-axis is x-intercept, and very similar y-coordinates of a point at which the graph crosses or touches the y-axis is a y-intercept. Okay, so now let's take a look at the definition. The first terminology is intercepts. Intercepts, okay? What is intercepts? The first thing you guys need to know, that is a point. A point. A point is a coordinate, okay? x1, a point. The second thing is crosses or touches the axis, okay? Crosses or touches the axis. That's the second keywords, okay? Second keywords, crosses or touches. Now, for the x-intercept, that's a value, only include x coordinate, okay? That's a value. The difference between these two is for the intercepts, that's a point. A point has x and y. For the x-intercept, just a value, just an x coordinate. Okay, there's no y coordinate, just a value. And of course, that should be a crosses or touches x-axis. Okay, for the x-intercept. Now, for the y-intercept, gonna be very similar. It's just the y coordinate, and crosses or touches the y-axis. Okay, so that's the keywords you need to be careful. Now let's take a look at examples. Okay, very simple examples. Take a look. Okay, so if I give you a curve that is a function y equals fx, looks like that. Now, how to find the intercepts? How to find the intercept? So based on definition, the graph crosses or touches the coordinate axis, right? So the graph for this curve touches the x-axis and the y-axis, right? How many points? touches or cross over these two axes, we can find this guy. This guy cross over y-axis. This guy cross over, and this guy is a touches, right? Touches x-axis, right? So the idea is very simple. You just need to check the curve, whether the curve touches or cross over the x-axis and the y-axis. X-axis and the y-axis. For x-axis, you can see the curve touches this point, cross over these 2 points, right? And for y-axis, the curve cross over this point. That's it. So how many intercepts? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 points. Okay, 4 points. And be careful, intercept about the point. So a point should have coordinate. So for this guy, what's the coordinate? x10, right? Understood? x10 for this point. The coordinate for this guy is x10, right? Understood? So how about this guy? 0, y1. How about this guy? This guy is x20 and x30. Okay, be careful. So the intercept always about point. Okay, a point sure has x coordinate and y coordinate. So you use a parenthesis, right? Means a point. Now, x-intercept. So the curve for the x-intercept, that means the curve touches or cross over x-axis, right? So x-axis is here, right? X-axis here. So touches or cross over x-axis, how many points? 1, 2, 3. Right? 1, 2, 3. Agree? Touches or cross over x-axis. 1, 2, 3. That's it. And based on definition, only about x coordinate, that means our value, we have x1, x2, x3. That's not a point, it's a value, okay? Our values, x1, x2, x3. We just pick the x values. Now, how about the y-intercept? Y-intercept means what? The graph touches or cross over this y-axis. There's only 1 point here, right? And the y-intercept is about a y-coordinate. That is y1, right? That's it. It's a value, right? y1. It's another point, another point. So be careful, a point or it's a value, okay? Now let's take a look. One example, let you guys try it, okay? Make sure you guys can get it. Find the intercept and x-intercept and the y-intercept. Okay, try it based on the definition. The first thing you need to understand, what is intercept? The graph touches x-axis or y-axis, right? Oh, sorry, here is a fine, for example. You're done? You need to find both of them, right? X intersects, Y intersects, and intersects. Three of them. Three of them intersects. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys the answer on board because I do not have much time yet. Okay. The intercepts. Based on definition, that is the curve or the graph touches this x-axis and y-axis. So touches x-axis, how many points? Touch or cross over x-axis. This point, this point, this point, this point, this point. Right? It touches or cross over this x-axis. And touches or cross over this y-axis. So this point is this point, this point, this point, this point. Just find all the points. Cross over or touches. Okay. And then for the intercept, you just write down the coordinates. So here, oh, sorry, I need to write down the negative. I forget the negative. You guys need to point it out. Okay. So -5, 0, -3, 0, -1, 0, and 2, 0, 4, 0. And for the y, this point is 0, 2. Okay, that's it. After you find all the points, it's very easy to write down the coordinates, right? So for the x-intercept, should be touches or cross over x-axis. How many points? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just these 5 points. So that is a value, right? -5, -3, -1, 2, and 4. And for y-intercept, gonna be touches or cross over this y-axis. 1 point is 2, right? That's it. Okay, that's the principle. Okay. Have a nice day. I wrap it up. Class here.